Alrighty, in this video we are going to be talking about the Unit 4 Day 3 activity, talking about the 1 grain of rice story. Now if you haven't seen it already, I want you to look at the notes from the same day, Day 3 notes, because we have these videos about this 1 grain of rice parable. And this is a parable and a book by Desmos, who is telling this story about this exponential growth. And it's really cool. It's this Indian proverb or parable about these people who are starving, and this girl, using math, tricks the Raja or the king of the land, and saves her people from starvation because of her knowledge of exponential equations. So when we open this up, this is what we see. As always, all answers need to be in red, and I do give you a little intro. So in the book of 1 Grain of Rice by Desmos, the main character, Ronnie, cleverly tricks the Raja into giving rice to the village. Use the story from the book to answer the questions below. Okay, now, in the story, Ronnie starts with 1 grain of rice and it doubles every day. Estimate how many grains of rice you think Ronnie will have at the end of 30 days. Now in the video, it does actually give you a hint as to what the answer would be, but I don't want to spoil that, so you'll have to watch the video and make your own guess. Then it says, use the chart below to record the number of grains of rice Ronnie would receive each day. Some answers are already in the chart. Now, in order to do most of our assignments, we always use Desmos. So let's go ahead, open up a Desmos. I'm actually going to split my screen here so that I can have my computation on one side and my assignment on the other side, okay? So here, let's see if I need to move my camera up a little bit so it's out of the way. Now on day 1 I have 1, so then I could do 1 times 2, and that gives me 2, so that would be my second day amount. Then I have 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 would be, let's see, 8 times 2 is 16. So the value that goes in here would be 16. Then let's leave this stuff for later. Let's go to day 6. I need to double day 5, so that would be 16 times 2. 16 times 2, I get 32. And then 32 times 2 equals 64, and then 64 times 2, 128. All right, and I just keep going and filling out this whole thing. Let's do day 9 just to get us there. So day 9 would be 128 times 2, and that looks like 256. So over here I change this to 256. Now, if I want to get the total after 5 days, I would have to add all these ones up. So to do that, I'm just going to grab this 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16. And it gives me the answer 31. Add this one up here, and I'm going to get 32 plus 64 plus 128 plus 256 plus 512. And I get 992. Okay, so that's how we fill out all of these. I want you to keep going here. Ooh, Miss Mian put some of our answers already in. I'll have to get rid of those. But you can see how this is growing real fast. Now, if the story continued and you know how many grains of rice Ronnie receives on day 30, how would you know this? So you don't need a number, you just need to describe it. So I want you to describe the way this is growing, but just use normal everyday English. So you could say this is doubling every single day. I just have to double day 29 in order to know what day 30 is. So I just have to double every single day, and that'll get me there. So writing that out will be good. How will you determine how many grains of rice you would receive on day 35? Same answer, right? You just double what they know on day 34. So you're just going to double again what she had on day 34. Now, what sucks though is what if I said on day 100 and you don't know what happened on day 99? That's going to be that's more of a tough problem to solve. Okay. If you know how many grains of rice she receives on a certain day, how can you determine how many grains of rice you will receive 2 days later or 10 days later? Explain with a full sentence. Okay, so I want you to do your best to answer here. Think about this. Are you really going to sit there doubling it, or is there a faster way? I don't know. Try and think about it. See what you can come up with. Write a sentence that describes how many grains of rice Ronnie receives each day. That one's easy because it's about doubling. Question 8 is write a sentence that describes the total number of grains of rice. So that's going to be this number here, these numbers. How would you calculate the total number? That's going to be tough. So try and come up with an answer. Really, I'm not going to mark you down for having incorrect sentences here because these are your best guesses. Okay, these are your guesses. Now, these ones, I want to see your sentences from questions 7 and 8 in actual equation format. Actually, just from question 7. Okay, so now, if we are going to do that, we would want to use the same equation that we used before. So I could go to my notes from day 1 and look at the exponential versus linear. Okay, so here we have our exponential versus linear notes. And down here I have my exponential growth. All right, so we could choose either the general format or the percentage format. And if I'm doubling it, that means I'm growing by 100%. So this would be 1 plus 1 or 2. Or if I wanted to use it here, my growth factor would be doubling. So I would just put a 2 in here. All right. And then my starting value is 1. So if I wanted to put my equation here, I could say f of x equals 1. And then if I wanted to do the percent way, it would be 1 plus 1.00 raised to the x, because this is 100% growth. All right. Or I could just simply say f of x equals 1, and then I know I'm doubling, so my 2 is inside, and then we go like that. And so we use this caret thing. Okay. Now, once we have this, we can actually graph it straight in Desmos. So we're going to go ahead and do that in Desmos. Oh, let me clear this. I can delete all. I'll paste it in. Oh, it actually pastes it up top. Oh, this is so nice, so easy. And actually, here's the super shortcut. You ready for this? If I wanted to find, remember the question we were asking earlier? How could I figure out some value of a random day? Okay, so if I wanted to find the value of day 18, I already know it's 1,301,072. So I would go in here and put 18 up here. All right, it's not going to work, but it's going to be close. I'll show you how to fix it. So we do f of 18. Uh-oh, it's not quite there. Let's try this though, because this looks suspicious. That looked suspicious to me. I recognize this number. Let's do f of 17. Look, ooh, it worked. F of 17. You know why this works this way? Because if I say f of 1, f of 1 gives me the day 2 value. So everything's off by a day. And day 1 is really truly f of 0. See how this works? All right, so everything's off by like a day. If I want day 9, I would have to do f of 8. F of 8 gives me 256. Okay, so that's how I would get those values from the equation. I can just take my Desmos picture real fast, and I will put that in my worksheet. Uh-oh, now I lost my worksheet. Here's my worksheet. So I can just go ahead and paste that in here, and now I have a graph of it. Okay, so this is how you can get, like, if we wanted to ask these questions later, day 40, boom, easy. I can go to that. I can say, let's go day 40. Really, I know day 40 would be like 39, right? Because we have to go 1 under. So this would be 39. And this is how much rice she gets on that day. It's a lot of rice. That's a lot of rice. 5 with 11 zeros. That's how big that number is. 5 with 11 zeros. I don't even know the name of the number that big. So that's really kind of cool how fast these graphs can grow. All right. Good luck.